Hi, I'm Addison Groove, and this is why I love my Mackie 1604. I needed to buy a mixing desk for my live sets, and so I did some research, and I needed one that's affordable, one that most clubs are going to have, and it turns out to be the 1604. I also learned around the same time that it was what Daft Punk made all their music with. So it was renowned for its preamps. It had, it just has a generally good sound. So I bought it pretty much the same time I bought my 808. Not really knowing how it worked, but willing to learn, obviously. And now it's like the heart of my studio now. All my analog equipment is connected to it. My sound card is connected to it. My laptop and my main studio computer is connected to it. So no matter what I do, I record everything through this into my main computer. Even when I'm making music, I use my laptop with Ableton. I will record into the Mackie and then out into the main computer. So it's just like a hub for everything. It's pretty easy to use. It might look like a lot of buttons, but it's not really. Every channel has 3 EQ bands, and you have 6 places where you can put inserts. Inserts are great because I use guitar pedals for effects. So all the individual sounds I can add effects to really, really quickly just by turning a button, and I'm ready. And it's set to record, straight into there. It sounds good. With the 303, it sounds amazing. You don't have to buy an expensive distortion for that to really growl. So put my 303 into it, makes it scream. Put the 808 into it, makes it just nicely distort in a not too aggressive way, but in a way that's musical. So if anything, this mixing desk is quite musical. And when I play live and I use delays and stuff, when I overload it with lots of delay, something happens to it, and I'm not sure what, but it's almost like the delay kind of sucks all the volume down, and it's kind of like a built-in sidechain mechanism. It's very odd, but it's awesome. You have a bass drum, and then if we get a snare and we delay the snare, it's almost like the bass drum is being sidechained to the snare from the delay, overloading the desk. I'm not quite sure the science behind that, but I like it anyway. So, and then obviously you turn off the delay, and all your music comes back again. So it's quite a cool little tool. Pretty much it really. It's just a good sounding instrument, and it's not too expensive. And the good thing is, if you're someone who wants to play live and you want a music mixing desk, I strongly recommend one of these ones, because most clubs in the country and the world have one. So you go to a club and you're not necessarily required to bring your own. There has been times when I thought about buying a Midas, a bit more advanced desk, but I've got no need for that. Not at the moment anyway. So this has got 16 channels, and it does more than enough. And the way I use the channels is sometimes I will send things to the subgroups. It's got 4 subgroups or 2 stereo. And then that can feed back in on itself, creating more interesting things, One cool thing is using it with this particular guitar pedal, the Coma. When you feed something to the Coma on a send, and then using that same send, feed it back in on itself, it just creates madness in a very controlled way. So I really like that. And all the routing is quite complicated, but quite simple at the same time. You can route quite a lot of things out of here to get different things going in and out of each other. Also, I should say that when playing live with a mixing desk, it looks much better than it stood behind the laptop. And you can see I have on top these guitar pedals, so I have very fast access to like a lot of sounds instantly, and I can manipulate it stood behind the desk, not stood behind a laptop. I think it just, being behind a laptop is just a bit static. It's not very emotional. You could be doing anything. At least being stood behind a mixing desk and a bunch of equipment, you know something is being played in front of you real time. And for that final reason, that's why I love my Mackie.